Let's go talk to the maid, who is supposed to get us a visit with the Queen. See what she can do for us. Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you. You're awfully late, aren't you? Sorry about that. We kinda got caught by Colonel Richard. Did you now? He has some things to tell us about our dad. I don't think he has any idea what we're up to, though. I see. Ah, yes, the letter of introduction did mention that you were Mr. Cassius's children. I can understand at least some of how Colonel Richard feels. Oh, do you know our dad, too? He used to come here when he worked as General Morgan's aide-de-camp. I'm told that he was a school friend of the late Prince's, Her Majesty's son. Late Prince? Princess Claudia's father. Ah, yes, he was killed 15 years ago in a tragic shipwreck. Would that he were still alive today, none of this would be happening. Huh? But lamenting what might have been is a fool's errand. Evening is fast approaching. We must make our preparations at once. Come on in, Shia. Shea? Oh, hey, aren't you? Shea, right? Yes, thank you for remembering. You look well, Estelle, Joshua. I have been told of your current predicament. You won't find a more dependable child. She's a great help to us whenever the princess is in the castle. Princess Claudia? That shouldn't pose a problem. Thank you. If you're ready, you should go change into your uniforms. The ribbons and the headpiece are tricky, so I'll adjust them for you. What? What do you mean? Estelle is going to need to dress up as one of the maids in order to get into the royal keep. A little playing with the hair and you'll blend right in. Oh, I get it. Uniforms don't allow for much in the way of personalization. That should be ideal for sneaking in. Huh? Me in a maid's outfit? I've been waiting to try one on since we first met Leela. Cute, breezy, and easy to move in. Well, if our uniforms weren't easy to move in, they'd make the cleaning much more difficult. I thought so. Well, let's get this sucker on me. Why so excited? I'm glad you're in high spirits, but you need to remember your manners in front of the Queen. You won't have me to lean on this time. Why not? You're changing too, aren't you? Pardon? I mean, he did play the princess during the play at the campus festival. Is there really that much of a difference between the fancy dress and a maid outfit? That's different, it was a play. I can't appear before Her Majesty in women's clothes. Oh, you'll be fine, it's not all that shameful or anything. Besides, you made such a gorgeous princess. Not this again, cut the jokes, will you? Hilda, Shia, help me out here, say something. Anyone? I see, that shouldn't pose a problem. Shea, don't you have that extra hairpiece designed for the princess? Yes, it's never been used though. He has that full dark hair, so it would probably look good on him. Hey, hold on a second. Well, it looks like 3-to-1 vote, majority rules. This way, please, we can use this as a changing room. Wait a minute, I don't remember ever agreeing to changing. Well then. Alright, if I have to change, I can do it myself. Shia, you're not planning on using makeup too, are you? Kids these days. Let's see how cute Joshua looks. Come on. Oh my. Ta-da! What do you think? I think it suits her very well. Such a bright, active maid in training, and only after just coming to the castle too. You certainly have me convinced. And with the hair down like that, no one will be any the wiser. Perhaps you'd like to work at Grancel Castle for real when this is all settled? Well, we already work as bracers, so, anyway. Come on, Joshua, get out here. No chance I can talk you out of this? None at all. You're just making this take longer. Fine. You're impossible sometimes. Well, it's almost frightening how good that looks. Isn't it awesome? It looks better on him than it does on me, and I'm an actual girl. A bit of makeup can make all the difference in the world. Please, just say you're done. Well, I suppose so. I'll show you the way to the royal keep. You need to make certain you watch me and learn how a maid handles herself. Yes, ma'am. We're finally going to meet the Queen in person. Yes, this is the do-or-die moment. We just have to stay focused and get to the royal keep. It's hard to take you serious in that outfit. Well, excuse me. This was your idea. I can't believe you've got the nerve to pick on... Sorry, don't get all mad. I'll treat you to some ice cream later, okay? I'm not like you. I'm not obsessed with food. I'm not obsessed with food. They get along so well, don't they? We're out of time. Let's go to the royal keep. Oh, I'm controlling the maid. Oh, so pretty. We're all so pretty. Hilda, what business do you have with Her Majesty at this hour? I'm bringing some tea and spoons at her request. The current situation means that Her Majesty is denied the right to even go about her daily life as she wishes, after all. Such harsh words. Who are these maids with you? I don't recognize them. His Excellency ordered me to hire some additional staff to help. They've only just arrived at the castle today. Really now? Yeah, you're pretty cute. Thank you. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I've met you before? Crap. Do you stare so hard at every young lady you see? I do not hope you're thinking any untoward thoughts. I rather think His Excellency and the Colonel would disapprove. Hey, it's not like that. We're the elite of the Royal Army. We wouldn't do that. All's well then. Now, will you please allow us to pass? Pardon us, ladies. But please, go ahead. Phew, that was intense. Thanks, Hilda. You're a real lifesaver. Yeah, that was really well done. I'm just glad I could help. Now then, are you planning to change your clothes before going to see Her Majesty? If you'd prefer, I can just show you the way now. I think I'm okay as is. Boy clothes, now. Oh, for the love of... Why are you always so self-conscious? What's wrong with what you had on? It's not an issue of self-consciousness. By the way, Hilda, is this room what I think it is? Yes, it's Princess Claudia's bedroom. But she rarely sleeps in the castle, so the room is all but unused. Huh? No kidding. But I heard that the princess was tending to the queen. I guess that's just gossip then? You'd have to ask Her Majesty for the full details. Her room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'll take you there. And by take me there, you mean I will take myself there. Well, this place isn't very big. Just the one room down here, and then I guess the queen's room up here. Yep, would seem that way. I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I brought the two I spoke of before. This is Joshua and Estelle. Thank you kindly. By all means, enter. As you wish. I'll wait for you here. You two go on in. Right. Pardon us. I don't think she's sick at all, is she? Oh. I bid you welcome. My name is Alicia Von Oslids. I am the 26th monarch of the nation of Liberal. I'm Estelle Bright. I'm a junior bracer of the Bracer Guild, and I'm Joshua Bright of the same affiliation. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Estelle and Joshua. I have truly been looking forward to meeting you both. I regret that I cannot offer you proper hospitality, but I have prepared some tea. Please, have some and relax. I see, so Professor Russell asked you to bring me this information. A pitch-black orbit capable of negating all other orbital energies. And you say that the Colonel has acquired it. The Professor told us that you might have some idea what he intends to do with it, Your Majesty. Can you tell us anything? I have but a vague idea. But I did not think that the Colonel even knew of it. Perhaps I am worrying about nothing, but even so... Excuse me, but... What is this vague idea you have? I suppose there is no harm in telling you. Roughly 10 years ago, a massive orbital reaction was detected beneath Gransel. Professor Russell was the individual who came to investigate. Did this happen in the vicinity of the sewers? No, far deeper underground than that, in fact. Professor Russell was under the impression that it might be a relic of the ancients that still functioned. Wow. So it was a bona fide artifact then. Most artifacts I know of have lost their function, like the mechanisms on top of the towers. But every now and again, you find one that still functions, like Mayor Dalmore's family heirloom. And something like that is beneath Grancel? So what does that tell us about the gospel? Maybe it could be used to halt the artifact's functions? Could it do that? Yes. However, we were unable to establish the nature of the artifact, or indeed why it was buried underneath the city. But it is beyond my imaginings how the Colonel could know of its existence. Professor Russell's research on it was kept strictly confidential, and off the record. I see. In any event, it seems likely that trouble is on the way. Honestly, just as I start to think maybe the Colonel might be a slightly nicer guy than we were giving him credit for. But when someone's trying to stir up some trouble, that's when us bracers come in. We won't let him get away with whatever evil scheme he's trying to pull off. I'd expect no less from Cassius's daughter. You're acquainted with our father, Your Majesty? He was a friend of my late son's and a great savior to the nation. Even after he retired from the army, he would sometimes undertake requests from me. Really? I didn't know that. I imagine that there are a great many things about him that you do not know, including the precise role he played in the war 10 years ago. I assume you have not been told. Well, nothing super detailed. Perhaps then, that is the role that I am meant to play. Estelle and Joshua, will you indulge me by listening to an old story? Oh, yes, absolutely. It is no indulgence, Your Majesty. 10 years ago in the spring, a tragedy occurred in the southern reaches of the Erebonian Empire. Its cause is yet unknown, so it is something I must omit. The Empire used that event as a pretext for the invasion of Liberl. So began the sad times that would become known as the 100 Days' War. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Just as the Empire made its declaration of war, a massive military force breached the Haken Gate. In what seemed like scant moments, all of Liberl became occupied territory save for Grancel. It is said that the invasion force was 3 times the size of the entire royal army. The reinforcements from Calvard were too late to stop their advance. It was but a matter of time before Grancel too would fall. But 2 months after the outbreak of hostilities, the war changed in a way that none could have imagined. Patrol airships just been developed and were used to recapture Liberal's checkpoints, severing the Imperial Army's communications. The Royal Army then set about recapturing the major regions one by one using ships launched from Leiston Fortress. Zace, Ruin, Bose, Roland. With their supply lines severed, the Erebonian forces occupying each region were swiftly crushed. And the one behind this plan for a counteroffensive was none other than one Colonel Cassius Bright. It was your father, who was General Morgan's right-hand man at the time, as well as Colonel Richard's superior officer. Afterwards, with the intercession of the Bracer Guild and the Septian Church, the war was brought to an end. But it was at this time that Cassius lost what he treasured most in all of the world. Lena, your mother, Estelle. That clock tower was destroyed in the Imperial Army's vain attempts to hold back the counter-offensive. What followed, I am sure you know. Cassius was not even able to be by his wife's side in her final moments. No, I had no idea. And he believed that the military operation that he himself had planned effectively caused her death. Blaming himself, he left the military and took up the path of the Bracer. All to stay with the one he had left, you. And this time he swore he would be able to protect those he loved. Dad, that idiot. It wasn't his fault that Mom died. How could he even think that? Estelle. Yes, you are correct. Given that all he lost was in service to his country, the responsibility falls upon me. And so, I am sorry, Estelle. I failed to protect your mother. I have wished to apologize to you for a long time. But you don't need to apologize. You've protected the peace of this country ever since the war ended. The peace that Dad and all other soldiers who defended Liberal in the war fought so hard to protect. And the peace that Mom gave her life for so I could live in it. You have nothing to worry about. Or you have nothing to be sorry for. Estelle, you have a kind heart, and I am grateful. It gladdens my heart to have finally met you in person. Now, more than ever. Your Majesty. However, that is why I do not wish you to put yourself in danger. I would like for you to remove yourself from any dealings with this matter. What? But Julia, I mean Lieutenant Schwartz asked us to help you. I thank you. I am grateful for your willingness to do so. But if some tragedy were to befall you in Cassius's absence, I know of no apology that could ever suffice. I ask only that you go back to your home in Roland and wait for your father to return. But, if I may, Your Majesty, the peace that Dad restored and that you protect, though it has held firm, now trembles like a leaf in the breeze. Joshua, if the Colonel is able to use the gospel for whatever purpose he intends, and if he succeeds in making the Duke the new King of Liberal, then what will become of that peace? I only ask that you consider that. Your Majesty, right when we became junior bracers, we inherited a whole lot of work from Dad. After the Sky Bandit incident, we got that letter and the package, and we've been running all around creation ever since. It feels to us like our dad's been nudging us in the back this whole time. That's why I want to defend peace, so that everyone we've met and everyone we care about can go on living secure and happy lives. Just like you, and just like Mom and Dad. I'm doing this because it's what I believe is right, and I really want to see it through. Estelle, it seems she was right about you. Huh? I too am ready. I would like for the two of you to carry my request to the Bracer Guild. Your Majesty. My liege, we will do whatever you ask. My request is for the Bracer Guild to rescue those being held captive by the Intelligence Division. Amongst them is my granddaughter Claudia. Aha, so the princess is being held captive somewhere. Yes. This coup d'etat started when I backed her as the successor to the throne. In other words, Duke Dunan was out of the running. Yes. Though he is my nephew, he is possessed by a considerable number of character flaws. In brief, where he is lacking, my granddaughter shines. For the sake of this nation's future, I would have my granddaughter succeed me. I don't actually know her, but I personally lean towards the idea that your judgment should really be trusted here. No matter the era, there will always be those who object strongly to a woman wielding political power, not to mention the memory of the invasion by a larger power is still relatively fresh. Some of them will perceive a succession of 2 consecutive queens to be a sign of weakness. It is hardly surprising that such a notion has taken root in the minds of some. Some, including Colonel Richard, I presume. Quite right. Claudia's pending succession to the throne caught him quite unawares. That, along with the passing of this information to the Duke, is what led to this coup. This was all staged so that Liberal would become a strong military power, with the Colonel ruling from the shadows. I see. That finally lets us see the whole picture. So if Liberal became a militarized country, what would happen then? A great many things. Taxes would be levied to fill the war chest. Horrible weaponry would be developed with the express intent of causing havoc on a massive scale. A wide-ranging policy of conscription would be adopted. And no doubt contracting the Jaeger Corps would be made legal, which is not the case at present. Oh no. Indeed, the Colonel has made very adamant requests that I enact such policies. I thought that such proposals were born of a genuine love for his country, but I never agreed that they were the right course of action to take. The Royal Army is not all that protects this land. We have worked hard to maintain treaties with other countries. Defending a nation goes hand in hand with free cultural exchange and trade with all other nations, to the benefit of all. I feel the same way, Your Majesty. Yeah, makes sense to me. The Colonel, however, finds such notions to be womanly and foolishly idealistic. So he demanded that I abdicate the throne in exchange for Claudia's safe return. Many people have family members taken to ensure that they would not dare oppose the Colonel. But I am the Queen, and I will not allow all that I love for my country to be destroyed simply because of blood ties. Still, she is my only granddaughter. I cannot simply allow her to die. Your Majesty, please try to relax. We hear and comply with your request. We will see to it that the princess is rescued from those who have imprisoned her. Thank you, both of you. With that reassurance, I will do all I can to oppose the Colonel's demands. Have you any other requests, Your Majesty? The Gospel still has to be dealt with, and I don't think we should just leave you here. I appreciate your sentiment, Estelle. But the present state of affairs is not contingent upon my freedom or imprisonment. The Gospel shall continue to weigh heavily on my mind for a great many reasons. For my part, I will attempt to ascertain the Colonel's true intentions with it. Wow, what a totally awesome person. Super nice, but with a seriously strong will. I hope I'm even 1/10 that cool when I get old. Cool, did you actually just call the Queen that? Still, she definitely has what it takes to govern a whole country. Yeah, I really want to stop this coup thingy and help her. That's definitely outside of Bracer jurisdiction. Well, first things first, we do whatever we can. Right. But you know, I'm still freaking out about what the Queen told us about Dad. I wonder if she's got any more tidbits she's willing to share. Estelle and Joshua, have you finished changing? Oh, yeah. Then we should return to the waiting room at once. It's already 11 o'clock. Actually, it's almost midnight. Oh, is it really that late? The Queen spoke with us a long time. If we stay any longer, it's apt to make the guards suspicious. Okay, so that was quite insightful. At least now we know what we need to do is we need to go rescue everyone that Colonel Richard is holding captive. But anyways, we'll take a break here, and next time we'll go and see how we can proceed with the Queen's request. So until then, thanks for watching.